In the spring 2018 semester, the Iowa State University team worked with Principal Financial Group to analyze and address problems related to the Principal Global Asset Allocation Division. The strategic and dynamic portfolio teams create custom investment solutions across multiple asset classes like stocks and bonds. Currently, not all systems and processes are known, and the processes also lack documentation. Due to this fact, this allows redundancies and inefficiencies to enter the process. The objectives of this project are as follows: create process documentation for the asset allocation teams and document data sources for future projects. Reduce training with the use of process maps, reduce portfolio investment process cycle time by removing redundancies, and reduce labor costs through automation of tasks, and also the heightened awareness and the utilization of processes and their supporting software and data.
In order to complete documentation, the ISU team sat down with both strategic and dynamic portfolio managers, as well as the manager research team. In order to complete this interview process, the team had to ask multiple questions throughout the overall interview in order to gain a solid understanding and grasp of the overall process prior to creating our first draft. These drafts were created using Microsoft Visio, as well as utilizing an ISO standard in order to ensure that our process maps were uniform throughout. As shown, our team has completed documentation for 23 different processes. These processes are pertinent to each of the portfolio strategies, and several are utilized across the portfolio strategies.
Once all the process maps were created and finalized, the ISU team wanted to further implement sustainability efforts to ensure that the process maps were a true reflection of Principal's asset allocation strategies. To complete this, the Iowa State team decided that we will create a standard operating procedure for reviewing, editing, and creating process maps. The standard operating procedure is a set of instructions which has the following sections: a purpose, a scope, prerequisites, responsibilities, procedure, references, and definitions. The purpose and scope portion of this document details out what strategies this document applies to, which is the Principal Global Asset Allocation. The prerequisite section details out what needs to be completed prior to the procedure being followed, which is making sure all the process maps are available to the team members, and also making sure that the team members are very knowledgeable of their processes. The responsibility sections details out who's going to be responsible for what during this procedure. There will be 2 champions that make sure to follow the procedure correctly, and also select team members who will be a part of the review team. The procedure section of this document will detail out how to review, edit, and create process maps. The review section of this document will detail out how to create an annual review process of all the process maps. The edit section will detail out how to make edits to the process maps based off the annual review process. Finally, there will be a create portion, which will detail out how to create a process map similarly to the process that the Iowa State team used to complete the original process maps. The references and definitions section details out a standard use for process maps and references a document to use if any further questions of process maps arise.
With our previously stated objectives, our team has come up with some recommendations. The first major recommendation we would like to look at is standardizing the data sources throughout the judgment process. The judgment process is used by the PMs in order to make assumptions about specific asset classes. The team has already begun to collect that data via a survey that was sent out to all asset allocation portfolio managers at the Des Moines location. The survey requests that the portfolio managers send information regarding publications, authors and journals, blogs, indices, and other sources of information they use on a regular basis to make assumptions about the asset class. Looking at the information in general, we find that there is a wide spread of information, but our hope is that this data gets used in future processes so that portfolio managers can have relevant information in a timely manner. The second recommendation our team would like to propose is the development and documentation of a new asset class procedure. Currently, the PMs do not have an ability to add an asset class in the portfolio they are currently running. Through our time documenting this procedure, our team did notice that there was a need for it, and in order to facilitate this process in the future, we've created a placeholder within our judgment process, which is accessible to both dynamic and strategic process. Our team has come up with several recommendations that deal with Principal Financial's proprietary system, and due to confidentiality, I cannot go into great details about those recommendations, but we have sent them off to Principal Financial to review. Throughout our recommendation process, our team has utilized the tools Iowa State has taught us in order to increase production, reduce waste, and optimize limited resources.